Hello guys. I hope that you can hear me. Okay, I can see myself now. So
attention all internet
able to hear me as well. How was today's contest? Did you enjoy today's contest? How many problems you guys solved? Let's go. Yeah. 2 mind-boggling. C was kind of tough. Only 5. 5 I don't think has only, but okay. 3 only A, 5 4 3. Okay, good. Today contest was a nightmare. Why was it a nightmare? Yeah, we're gonna talk about all the problems, also about problem C, problem 3, as you said. We're gonna discuss all of the problems today, and I hope that you will learn from this solution discussion as well. And let me mention to you that tomorrow we have binary search topic stream. So you can see my screen, I can show it to you as well. It's gonna be tomorrow. You can see the link to the binary search topic stream here, and you can find all the topic streams as well in the playlist. As you can see my screen, in Friday's topic streams, you can see all the topic streams that we had on so far. It was on dynamic programming, graph algorithms, number theory, etc. So if you are ready, without any further ado, we can start talking about the problems. Are you guys ready? I hope that it seems like I have some lag here. It seems like there's some issue with my Chrome. I hope that you can still hear me well. Okay, it's back up. So for a second, my Chrome was not responding. So anyway, yeah, and about the Telegram channel as well, you can join our Telegram channel. You're more than welcome to join our Telegram channel from this link. Okay, let's start talking about the problems. Problem A. Let me bring it first here. Problem A is saying that the name is line breaks. It's saying that you have a text string S. You have a set S consisting of n words. So you have a set of n words, and they are made up of Latin alphabet letters. And what you can do is that you can choose a number X and write the first X words from S. On the first strip you have 2 strips in total. The first strip only has a space for M characters. The second one has infinite space. So the point is that your space in total is M. You want to pick as many strings as you can so that the sum of them is less than or equal to M. They can fit into the first strip. And they must be a prefix. So you have to say that what is the maximum X that you can choose. What is the maximum X such that the sum of the sizes of these strings S1, S2 to Sx is at most M. So this is mostly an implementation problem. It's not, it doesn't have that much algorithm. So what you can do, as you see, iPad is not responding. I'm facing with a lot of technical issues today. Okay, I hope that it's okay now. So yes, so the point is that we have S1, S2 to Sn, and we want to find the maximum X such that the sum of the sizes of S1, S2 to Sx is at most M. So you can start a for from the beginning. Each time add the size of the current string to your sum, and the first time your size was greater than or equal to x, you can greater than m, you can break. So this way, with just a 4, you can find the maximum x such that the sum of the sizes so far is at most m. I talked about it very quickly because I assume that you guys are okay about it. I didn't go into that much detail. I will also show you a code very quickly as well, because this is only about the code. This is only about the implementation. So I will also show you a code on this problem. So basically what we do is that we iterate over all the elements from the beginning. Each time we have a variable sum, we add the size of the current string to our sum, and then if it was less than or equal to m, it is okay. If it was not, the previous thing that we had was our answer, and we can just keep that and output it. I see that most of you say that skip A, so I quickly show it if someone has any issues, and then we will move on. It's just 30 seconds or so. So we get int of n and m, we see in n and m, we have a string s, we see in s, and each time in this code m is subtracted by s dot size. Whenever it was less than 0, it means that we don't have that much space anymore. Ans gets equal to I minus 1. And at the end, I say that at the end he says that if ans is still minus 1, it means that m never got negative. So ans is n. I can pick all of them, and at the end we see out ans. So is it completely clear? If it is okay, you can put a plus or use this emoji. So I just quickly explained A, because I assume that you don't have much problems on problem A. If any of you feels that like you have any issue on problem A, let me know. Okay, so it seems like everybody are really okay with problem A. So let's now move on to the next problem, problem B. So problem B, transfusion. It says that you are given an array A of length n. In one operation, you can pick an index I from 2 to n minus 1 inclusive and do one of the following actions. Decrease A sub I minus 1 by 1, then increase A sub I plus 1 by 1, or decrease A sub I plus 1 by 1, then increase A sub I minus 1 by 1. After each operation, all the values must be non-negative. You cannot make a number negative. Can you make all the elements equal after any number of operations? So the big observation on this problem, the most important observation, is that what you are doing each time is that you pick two elements such that their distance is exactly 2. They are like I minus 1 and I plus 1. In between them is I. And you either give one from this one to this one. It's like you move one from this element to this element. You subtract this by 1 and add that one instead to I plus 1, or vice versa. You give one from this one to this one. So it's like each time one element can give one to either the one that is 2 at distance 2 to its right, or at distance 2 to its left. This is what's happening. So the big observation is this. The big observation is that all of the operations are either, all of them are either on odd positions or even positions. So if you consider each operation is either between two elements in odd positions or two elements in even positions. So in other words, I'm saying that the parity of the indices that you are doing this action on, the parity of the elements that are inside in action, are the same. So you will never move any one from an odd index to an even index, or from an even index to an odd index. In other words, if we consider all the elements and make them black and white, alternatively make them black and white. Each operation is either between two black elements or two white elements. It's always, each operation is either between two black elements or two white elements. So the sum of black elements will not change, and the sum of the white elements will not change as well. So the sum of each color remains the same always. The sum the sum of each color always remains the same. Because the sum remains the same, on the other hand, we can say that the average remains the same as well. Since the sum remains the same, we can also say that also the average, I lost the screen again. I reconnected it. So I'm saying that because the sum is not going to change, we can say that the average is not going to change as well. So by doing these operations, average of the even positions are going to remain the same always, and the average of odd positions is are going to remain the same as well. So we cannot ever change these two values. So at the end, we want to make all the values equal. At the end, we want to make all of these values equal. So from the beginning, the average of odd positions and the average of even positions must be the same from the beginning, because you cannot change that ever again. If at the end you want all the numbers to be equal, all of them, all the odd positions must be equal to each other, so all of them should become equal to their average. All the even positions must be equal to each other as well, so all of them must be equal to their average as well. And at the end, the average of these ones and the average of these ones, these two values must be equal to each other as well. So these are the conditions that you need to check. You need to check that the average, you need to check that if the average, okay, I lost it just after I got it. We need to check that if average is an integer, the average definitely must be an integer, because at the end they are all going to be equal to their average. And if the average was integer and the average of odd positions and the average of even positions were the same, it is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible. Why average? Well, the point is that the sum is the same. What is average? What is the definition of average? Average is the sum over the number of them. The number of them will not change. The sum of them will not change as well. So the average will not change too. So we can say that in general, sum is equal to average is equal to sum over the number of elements. Sum remains the same, and the number of elements remains the same as well. So the average does not change. The average of odd positions and the average of even positions always remain the same. So if from the beginning they are the same, it's okay. I wasn't writing on tablet. I saw that it's gone. I wasn't writing on tablet. So if from the beginning they are the same, it is good, and all the elements can be the same. Otherwise, they cannot. And definitely, the average must be an integer from the beginning too, because otherwise, they cannot all become their average, because the numbers always remain an integers. For example, if you see this example, this first example, the odd positions are this one and this one. This is index 1, this is index 3. The even position is this one. What is the average of odd positions? Is 3 plus 1 divided by 2. So average of odd positions is 2. Average of even positions is also 2. Is 2 over 1 is 2. So they are the same, and if you see, the average of both of them are integers too. So we can make this happen. We can make all of the numbers too. We can, what we showed is that all the even positions are independent of all the odd positions. So it's like we solve even positions independently, and we solve the odd positions independently as well. So in here, red ones will be swapped, will be changed with each other. They give ones to each other by themselves, and blue ones by themselves. So in here, for example, these three can give one to this one. In the second case, the average of odd positions is 2. The average of even positions is 1. Even though both are integers, but they are not equal to each other. So you can make all of the numbers integers. So this one can be 2 and 2, and this middle one can be 1. But because the average of these two are not equal, all the numbers will not be equal. So the answer is no. In the third one, the average of these two is 3. The average of these two is 3 as well. And we see that the average is integer, and they are also equal. Now, if you look at the fourth case, this is a case that the average is not an integer. The average of 1 and 6 is 3.5. The average of 6 and 1 is also 3.5. They are equal, but the point is that they are not integers. You cannot make all of the number 3.5. So this is not possible as well. So if you see the first 4 cases, they must be yes, no, and they are. Is it clear what I'm saying? If it is clear, please put a plus or use this emoji. I will show you the code as well. Why they must be integers? Because if they are not integer, like the 4th case, if they are not integer, like the 4th case, where the average was 3.5, you cannot make all the numbers 3.5. At the end, you know that all of them, if they're gonna be the same, if all the values remain the same, will be the same, it means that all of them must be equal to their average at the end. They have to turn into their average. If the average is not an integer, there's no way to make them their average. For example, if it is 3.5, you can never make it 3.5. Okay, I got it, that it's a yes. I see that so many people say skip code. Do you want me to skip code really, or does anyone want me to show the code? If all of you, if nobody needs the codes, I can skip. Okay, I can skip. There we have a shortcut. So I show the code very quickly. I know that most of you want me to skip it very soon, so I will just show code for 30 seconds and then we will move on to problem C. It's good to also see the code as well. I mean, it's just this way. For the ones of you who haven't accepted the problem, it helps you to completely figure out what the solution is. Okay, so, but our main issue in showing code is that Codeforces is slow, and the process of waiting for the code to be loaded is more than the time that we spend on explaining it. Okay, anyway, this is the code. We have this, sum 1 is the sum of odd ones in here. Sum 2 is the sum of even ones. And sum is also the total sum. If sum modulo n was 0, only in this case the answer is possible. It is basically like checking that the averages are integer. Sum modulo n must be 0, otherwise the numbers cannot be integers. If the total sum that we have do not change, and so we know that all the numbers must become sum over n at the end. So sum over n must be an integer. Sum modulo n must be 0. And we just see that how many odd numbers do we have, how many even numbers do we have. Sum 1 must be equal to the number of odd numbers times sum over n. Sum is divided by n here. So it should be odd times sum over n, and sum 2 must be equal to the number of even ones times sum over n. In this case, we see out yes, otherwise we see out no. Okay, if it is clear, I will move on to the next problem. How long it takes for the rating change to take effect? I mean, usually within a day you're gonna have your rating. You're gonna see your rating. I code in Python, should I switch? Yeah, if you have just started, not for now, but in future you have to switch, because Python is slow for competitive programming, and for solving harder problems you will have to change your language, but it's not gonna be hard. I mean, the hardest part of competitive programming is not switching the language. Yes, operations should result in non-negative integer as well, and the point is that we can easily avoid that. Let me see if I have it. No, I don't have it still. So the point is that I can easily avoid that. How? I can start from the beginning. I can always see my maximum, see what is my maximum value. It is greater than what it should be. Okay, so it definitely does not become negative. So I can take 1 from my maximum and move that 1 to where it needs something that needs to be increased. So the point is that each time you can see your maximum, the number that has more than it needs. And there's also a number that has less than it needs. And you can take 1 and move it to there. This way no number will be negative during the process. That was a good thing that you mentioned. That was a good point. But it's not gonna be, cause any issues in the solution. Is it clear? At what stage should one switch from Python to CPP? Usually, I mean, problems A, B, C are okay to be accepted with Python as well. But sometimes after that, I mean, when the time complexity becomes really important, then you have to switch to C++. So if you are accepting less than 3 problems in a contest, you do not need to switch your language for now, and it might be hard for you if you just want to do it at the beginning of your journey. So it's good if you just move on a little bit, just be able to solve some problems and then switch your language. That's my opinion. Some of these are, yes, this problem was about indices, exactly. It was about indices, odd indices and even indices. It was especially about parity. Okay, yeah, sometimes, especially in div3 contests, it is more problems. And it also depends on the contest as well. So it depends on the hardness of the contest and also depends on the contest itself too. It is different in different contests. It's not a fixed value. So let's move on to the next problem, problem C. Uninteresting number. This problem says that you are given a number n with a length of no more than 10 to the 5th. You can perform the following operation any number of times. Choose one of its digits, square it, and replace the original digits with the result. The result must be a digit, so it must be less than 10. Is it possible to obtain a number that is divisible by 9 through these operations or not? So you have a number. Oh my god, this still doesn't have this. If it doesn't get fixed, I'm gonna explain it to you. For a second it came back. If it doesn't get fixed, I'm gonna explain it to you on laptop's whiteboards. But if it gets fixed, it's better. It's gonna be better. So first, I mean, while it is trying to be connected again, let me tell you that when a number is divisible by 9, a number, this is a well-known thing in number theory, that a number is divisible by 9 if and only if the sum of its digits is divisible by 9. So a number is divisible by 9 if and only if the sum of its digits is divisible by 9. Otherwise, it is not. Okay, so that's the main thing. If the sum of the digits are divisible by 9, if it is possible. Otherwise, it's not. Is it okay so far? Do you guys know about it? This is a very important thing. And also, since we know this, the sum of the numbers, the sum of the digits, let me just explain that why it is true. I'm just explaining on the chat. I mean, I hope that you can see it well. The point is that your number in base 10 will be like this. I mean, its real value is the least significant digit times 10 to the power of 0 plus the next digit times 10 to the power of 1 plus the next digit times 10 to the power of 2 plus the next digit times 10 to the power of 3 and so on. Okay. And the point is that for each of them, you know that each of these numbers, the remainder of each of these numbers by 9 is 1. 10 to the power of 0, the remainder of 10 to the power of 0 by 9 is 1. The remainder of 10 to the power of 1 by 9 is 1 as well. The remainder of 10 to the power of 2 by 9 is 1 as well, because 99 is divisible by 9. Again, 999 is divisible by 9, so the remainder of 10 to the power of 3 by 9 is also 1. And so on. So the point is that instead of multiplying them by 10 to the power of 0, 10 to the power of 1, 10 to the power of 2, 10 to the power of 3, you can just multiply them by 1 and just sum up these digits. So the first thing to mention is that a number modulo 9 is equal to the sum of its digits, the modulo 9. The remainder are going to be the same. Even without it, it would be possible to solve the problem, but it's good to know. I mean, it's good to know, and it gives you some intuition as well if you know this. So now we know that a number can be squared in this problem if and only if x squared is less than 10. So what are our options for x? What x can be in this problem? What x can be if we only can if x squared is x squared needs to be less than 10. Exactly, it must be either 1 or 2 and 3. And also the point is that choosing 1 is not useful and choosing 0 is not useful as well. I mean, they would not change. So they're not important. 1 and 0 are not important. So the only operations that we can consider is on either 2 or 3. If we want to make any change, we should change a 2 or change a 3. Okay. And there are several ways to handle it when we can only consider changing 2s and 3s. We can either use DP or we can use other approaches as well. We can, one way is that really we count that how many 2s and 3s we have. Let me scroll to this comments. You cannot scroll while it's zoomed in, unfortunately. So one way is that we can count 2 and 3s. Then we can have a 4. We can count that how many 2s and 3s we have, and then have a 4 that how many of them do we change. And do not forget that we cannot apply the operation more than once on a digit, because even if it is 2, after one operation it will turn to 4, and then you cannot do any operation on 4 afterwards. So you can do operation at most once on any of the digits. Also on 3 you can do the operation only once, because next time it's 9 and you cannot do the operation again. So the point is that you can do the operation once on each digit, and you know that your number is not greater than 10 to the 5th. So the number of 2s and the number of 3s that you have is so small. So you can either have a 4, you could also have a DP of I and j could say that if I have checked the first I elements and the sum of them modulo 9 is j, is it possible or not? This DP could be a Boolean, and this way you can easily see that then the next elements can have several choices. If it is 2, it has the option to change to 4. If it is 3, it also has a choice to change to 9, and also each digit can be itself 2. You could also consider this DP. This DP would work even it wasn't modulo 9. So even if you didn't know the fact, this DP would work and solve the problem. And it could solve it for even numbers that are not 9, numbers greater than 9 or less than 9. Numbers that you didn't have this point that the sum of the digits modulo 9 is equal to the number itself modulo 9. But in here, because your number is 9, and it can be solved in a simpler way using the approach that I said. Using the approach that I said, I can just see that how many 2s do I have and how many 3s do I have. And I know that by choosing any 2, the sum of my digits will be added by 2, because this digit will turn into 4. And by choosing any 3, this digit will turn into 9. So my sum will be added by 6. So if you just see that how many 2s do you have and how many 3s do you have, you can have 2 4s, that how many 2s you will change and how many 3s you will change. And this way you can see that how much your remainder will change as well. You know that what is your remainder initially. You can just keep the sum of the all digits and calculate it modulo 9. So then you're going to have the recurrent remainder. And then by choosing several 2s and several 3s, you know that if you choose I 2s and j 3s, you can add it by 2i and 3j. If this number, 6j, because for any 3 that you choose, you're going to add your remainder by 6. If this number modulo 6, modulo 9 was 0, the answer is yes, it is possible. Otherwise it is not. So this way you can easily check if your number will be divisible by 9 or not by choosing several elements. Is it clear? Yeah, so you could either use this, or you could either use this, or you could use the DP. DP would work even if it wasn't modulo 9, it was modulo anything. Can you explain when would the for loop can cause issues some calculus? Well, the point is that I don't understand completely That's what you mentioned, but the point is that because we can fix all the values, it's gonna be okay. It's not gonna cause any issues. We can have a for I from 0 to the number of 2's and j from 0 to the number of 3's, and then check that what is gonna be the end. Okay, yeah. So you have asked that. Okay, yes. Having two 4's is gonna be problematic. Yes, I first assumed that the numbers are up to 10 to the 5th initially, and I thought we can have two 4's. If you're not gonna have two 4's, I mean, if the length is up to 10 to the 5th, what you should do is to just have one 4. You should just have one 4, and if you know that what I is, what I is, j can be uniquely determined. That's what it should be. So I see now what is the issue you mentioned. I first misread the problem and assumed that n is up to 10 to the 5th, but the length of n is up to 10 to the 5th. So the point is that you can have a 4 on I mean, this makes it only a little bit more challenging, but not much. You can have a 4 on I first, and then you know that what sum plus 2i is. Well, you know that now your number must be divisible by 3. Because adding 6j does not change the remainder by 3. Okay, remainder of division by 3. So, I mean, adding 6j does not change the remainder by after division by 3 anymore. So, sum plus 2i so far must be divisible by 3. Okay, do you guys agree with this? Because if we add 6j to it, 6j is divisible by 3, so it does not change the remainder by 3. And we know that our number at the end must be divisible by 9. When it is divisible by 9, it is also divisible by 3. So our number at the end must be divisible by 3 as well. So sum plus 2i must be divisible by 3, because otherwise 6j cannot make any change on that. So if you just fix I, sum plus 2i must be divisible by 3. So modulo 9, it has only these three options. It is either 0, or it is 6, or it is 9. It is 0 or 3 or 6. 0 or 3 or 6. If it is 0, it's okay. The answer is yes, because we do not need to make any change by j's. If it is 6, we need at least one j. If it is 3, we need at least one j. We need at least to change one of the 3's. So we can see that how many 3's do we have? If we have at least one 3, that's going to be okay. If it is 6, we need two 6's. We need to add 2 of these 6's. It means that we need to change 2 of our 3's. So we need to have at least 2 3's at the beginning. So it's only possible if the number of 3's is at least 2. So the point is that when you have a 4 on I, if sum plus 2i was not divisible by 3, the answer is no. I mean, this I does not work. For this I is no. Otherwise, now you can see that if it is a 0, or this is a 3, or this is a 6. If it was any of these, then you can say that if it is 0, you don't need any j, it's okay. It can be solved without changing any 3, only by changing these 2's, we're done. If it was 3, we need to change one of the 3's. If it was 6, we need to change 2 of the 3's. So, is it clear now? This would be an easy approach that we can solve the problem. As I said, we can still do that DP as well. But this can also solve the problem in the case where our mod is 9. Because where our mod is 9, it doesn't matter that where the digits are. So, you can just see that how many of them do you have. Yeah, we can also consider the numbers up to 8 as well. Yeah, that's also true. That is also true, yes. Your 4's could also be up to 8. That is also true. That is also another optimization that you can use. So this was one solution. There's another solution that you suggested in comments right now as well. That is also completely correct. That's the 4's that you have on I and J could also be at most by 8. So initially you can if you have x2's and y3's, you can initially say that x is equal to minimum of x and 8, and say that y is also minimum of y and 8 as well, and then have a 4 on x and y. This could also work. This is also a very good idea for optimization. Why? Because if it is 9 or more, if you choose 9 or more of them, I mean, if you choose, for example, at the end, I twos, and it is greater than or equal to 9. The point is that instead of that, you could choose I minus 9 twos, and that would still give you the same mod. Because it's just you subtracted 9 of these twos. So it's like in total you have subtracted by 18. So it is still, it does not change the value modulo. It does not change the value modulo 9. So you could also do it like that. You could also say that x and y can be at most 8. You do not need to consider them greater than 8. So your force can be only up to 8 as well. This would also work. Is it clear? Yeah, I will show you code as well. I'm not sure that I will find a DP code because there are some easier codes. I'm not sure if anyone has used a DP solution on this problem, because as I said, in this problem, it's a special case that mod is 9. So you do not need to use DP anymore. You can share your your solution, Kiarash. If you want, you can share the ID of your submission, and I can show your code to everyone. Let me change for a second. If tablet is up again, it is not. It's so unfortunate. We're so unlucky to. This sometimes happens in our live streams, and it is really annoying. I think that it is related to my SIM. If I could, I would bring another SIM right now to check with that one, with another wire, another cable. But yeah, for now this one is not working. Unfortunately, we have lost it. Yeah, I will also show you how can we solve it with DP. Yeah, Tourist, I saw that Tourist finished all the problems in 14 minutes. So anyway, I will explain it once again, the ideas that we had. So there were 3 solutions. One of them was that DP one that I will explain it to you. The first one, first let me start with the first one. The first 2, use that how many 2s and 3s do we have in our number. So we said that only we can change 2s and 3s. So we need to see that how many 2s do we have and how many 3s do we have. And we don't care about the position of these digits. Because at the end, when we want to see if a number is divisible by 9 or not, only the sum of the digits matter. The position of them, where they are, does not matter. The digits, their value is important because we want to sum them up at the end. It's not important where they are. So we just need to consider that how many 2s do we have and how many 3s do we have. Assume that we have x 2s and y 3s. First, I told you that we can have a 4 on how many 2s we want to change and how many 3s we want to change. And we can see that if I change in these many 2s and these many 3s, our number will be divisible by 9 or not. This was the first solution that I told you, but the problem was that since our number, the length of our number is up to 10 to the 5th, this is going to be problematic because these 2 4s is going to be slow. We're going to have 2 4s that they can be around 10 to the 5th. But instead, there were 2 suggestions that we could do to fix this. There were 2 ways that we could fix this. One way was to just fix that how many 2s we use. So we can have a 4 on I that says that how many 2s do we use. We know that after doing this, our number, this sum that we had will be added by 2i. And as I said, after we add it by 2i, then we can add it by 6 times j, where j is the number of 3s that you're gonna choose and change them. And j must be from 0 to y. As I said, sum plus 2i must be divisible by 3, because I know that my number at the end must be divisible by 3. At the end, my number must be divisible by 3. Let me, for a second, just check. Okay. I want to check if you had any questions so far or not. Sum plus 2i must be divisible by 9 at the end. So in here, sum plus 2i must be divisible by 3. Because adding 6j to it does not change anything, does not change the value modulo 3. So the number must be divisible by 3. So you can consider 3 cases. Either it is 0, or it is 3, or it is 6. You know that by choosing any 3, you add 6 to your number. So if initially it is 0, it's okay, the number is divisible by 9, and the answer is yes. If it is 3, you need to use one of the 3's and change them to 9. This way your number will be 0 modulo 9. So in this way, only you can do it if y is at least 1. And if it was a 6, you need to do 2 operations at least on that 3. So your y must be at least 2. You need at least 2 so that modulo 9 your number will be 0. This sum would be 0 at the end. So this is one way that we can solve it. The second solution that you said was that we do not need to use change some number 9 times or more than that. We do not need to change 2's, for example 9 2's or more than 9 2's. Because if we change 9 or more, we could instead of changing I of them, we could change I minus 9 of them, and that would give the same value modulo 9. So initially we can say that x is at most 8 and y is at most 8 as well. We can consider that if they were greater than 8, we make them 8, because we're not going to use more than 8. If they were greater than 8, I make them 8. And then I can have a 4 on x and y. This way also my solution would be quick as well. We have 2 4's of 8, of size 8. That's going to be very fast. And the third solution is to use a dp of I and j can just tell me that if I consider the first I digits, what is going to be my numbers so far modulo 9. And the point is that each time when you add some digits, first of all, I'm telling you the general solution that can solve the problem even if it wasn't modulo 9. So I'm not going to use the fact that the sum of the number modulo 9 is equal to the sum of its digits modulo 9. I'm not going to use that fact. So I say that whenever I add another digit at the end of my number, a digit like d will be added, and your number right now is j, for example, modulo something. It's like the next time your number modulo that number will be 10 times j plus d. It's like first it will be multiplied by 10 because you're adding another digit, so the value of everything will be multiplied by 10. So first you multiply it by 10. Because everything is going to be shifted leftward. And then you're adding d to it. So your number from j will turn into 10j plus d. And the point is that this d is going to have limited options as well. If the next digit is 2 or 3, you have 2 options for it. So you update by both of them. If it is greater than 3, you just, for example, if it is a 6, you will only choose 6 in here. So from dp of I and j, you will go to dp of I plus 1 and 10j plus 6 modulo 9. Or modulo anything else if it was something other than 9. If it was 2 and 3, you will both update. For example, if it was 2, you will both update dp of I plus 1 and 10j plus 2 modulo 9 and 10j plus 4 modulo 9. You will update both of them. If it was true, you make both of these two true. Because you have both of the options. So you will update both of them. So this way you can define a dp and you can easily update this dp and go to the next states. Only for 2 and 3, you will set 2 of the next states true if your current state is true. For the rest of them, you will only set 1 of the next states true. So because it's going to be only one case is going to be considered. So is it clear now? Yes. About y, you're completely right. About y, we can also say that y is at most 3 as well. Yes. That is also true. I do not want to make the solution very complicated, but all these facts are true. Y is at most 3 as well, because if we use more than 3, y is even less than 3. Because if you use 3 of them, 3 6s is going to be 18. So it is again divisible by 9. So 3 and 0 do not make any difference. So instead of I, where I is greater than or equal to 3, we could use, instead of j, where j is greater than or equal to 3, we could use j minus 3. So we can say that I could go to 8, j could go to 3. Yes, I will show code as well. On the second approach, as I said, if your I is greater than 9 or j is also greater than 9, greater or equal to 9, you could instead use I minus 9 or j minus 9. You could, instead of using I, use I minus 9 or you could use j minus 9. And both of them give you the same answer, modulo 9. They're going to give you the same value, modulo 9. So the point is that I will never choose more than 9 twos, 9 or more than 9 twos. And I will never choose more than 8 threes as well. I can also show that I will never choose more than 2 threes too. But for now, let's consider that we would definitely not use more than 8. Because if we use more than 8, we could use, instead of, for example, if we are going to use I, we could instead use I minus 9 of them, and that would still work. Yeah, I will also show you code as well. Can we just use count 2 modulo 9 and count 3 modulo 9? No. You should not use the modulo 9 because it's about your ability. For example, maybe count 2 is 9, and if you use count 2 modulo 9, it means that you can use nothing, you can use 0. But you have the ability to use any of the values up to 9. So you cannot use that values. You cannot use those values. Count 2 modulo 9 and count 3 modulo 9 because it's about your ability. So yes, I will show you a code as well. Let me bring a good code. And okay, for example, again, you can see this code and let's see how has he done this. What he is doing, he has a 4 on all the digits and he changed sum, and it says that if k is equal to 1 or k times k was greater than 9, continue. In these cases, we do not make any change, definitely, and sum will change, our sum will change like this. Otherwise, he will see that what is k squared, and this is a weird line of code. I'm trying to see that what is trying to do. Kk over 10 is definitely 0 because kk was not greater than 9. Okay, so basically it's trying to find out that how much our value will change, how much modulo 9 will change if we do this. So basically he's kind of using the DP, the Boolean DP. He's using that DP. He's saying that if we choose this one, this NW just says that how much this value will change. It means that, as I said, if k is 2, this NW would be 2. If k is 3, this NW would be 6. So he's trying to see that if you choose this, how much you will add to sum. This is what he's trying to do with this NW. And then he says that he wants to keep all of his options for adding to sum. He has a 4 from 8 to 0. Initially, he knows that I can add sum by 0. He knows that he can add sum by 0. And then in here, he has a 4 from 8 to 0. And if this j was possible, now j plus nw modulo 9 is possible as well. Because now we can choose this one too. If so far we could add sum by j, now we can choose this value as well and add our sum by j plus nw modulo 9. And then he has another 4 from 0 to 9 that pos of j or equal to pos 2 of j. This pos 2 was a temporary array that he kept in here that says that what is the new things that we can, what are the new abilities that we can have. And then he says that pos of j or equal to pos 2 of j. And then at the end he will see that if 9 minus sum modulo 9 is the value that we need to add to sum to become divisible by 9. If that was possible, I'll see out yes, otherwise see out no. It means that if we could add sum by this value, if we could this remainder to our sum, we just add it. And the answer is going to be yes. We can make the number divisible by 9. Otherwise, we cannot, and the answer is no. Is it clear now? This is a DP approach. If it is clear, please use this emoji or put a plus in the chat. We spent, I think, a lot of time. I know that some of you are waiting to talk about the next problems as well. But we're going to wrap it up soon and move on to problem D very soon. Okay. So I use dp of I and remainder returns if possible with given remainder. Here's one code. I think links will not be sent here, so you should send your submission ID. If you just use modulo 9, it returns wrong result when count is 10 and 2 are used. Yes, exactly. That's right. So, if it is clear for you guys, I can now move on to problem D. If you need any further explanation, also let me know. Thanks. And you can also put it in the Telegram channel as well. Maybe that's a better idea. If you put it in the Telegram channel, let me resend you the link of the Telegram. The link of the Telegram channel, and we also have a discussion group as well in Telegram. All of you are more than welcome to join this channel and the group and discuss the further solutions. If you want me to show this code as well, yeah, sure. I will show you this code as well that you guys have sent me. Roshan has sent me. He has used dp of I and j, which is exactly what we talked about. If we consider the first I elements and the remainder is rem so far. What he's doing is that -1 is a sign that this dp is not defined. If dp of I and rem was not equal to -1, he will just return it. Otherwise, if s of I was 3, he will check one of these two values. He will check I plus 1 and s and rem plus 6 modulo 9. If it is 2, he will also consider rem plus 2 modulo 9. And at the end, he will also consider I plus 1 and rem itself. And then at the end, he just needs to find out if at the end you can get, if you start from the beginning, can you get rem at the end or not? Can you make this rem 0 at the end or not? If you could, you will see out yes, otherwise you see out no. Okay. So this was kind of the DP problems. Why my video is so left behind? Okay. Sure. You can also, Aditya and Narendra, you can both join the Telegram channel and put your solution in Telegram group, and you can discuss the solutions there. Okay. I use if else 9 times. Interesting. Okay. Let me, after explaining each problem, I will check out tablets with the hope of it's being fixed this time. Previously it was working if I was reconnecting it, but this method is not working anymore, unfortunately. Anyway, let me bring this next problem. Yeah, thank you very much for sending this tool loop. This is maybe good to also talk about. Maybe it's good to talk about this one. This is the method with two loops. Let me also show it to you. This is the method that you have. You see that how many twos do you have, how many threes do you have. And ones are also calculated this way, but you could also ignore that as well. I mean, without that it would work as well. And then he has a 4 on the number of threes that we have and a 4 on the number of twos that we have, and he will see that if it works or not. If it works, he will return yes, otherwise he will return no. He will see out no. I just don't see that where you said that you have said that they must be at most 8. I just don't see that. Have you minimized them with 8 or not? You really have a 4 up to the counts. You know, the point is that what you could do, I mean, the method that I used was that in here, what we could do was that in here we could just say that count 2 is min equal to 8 is equal to minimum of count 2 and 8, and count 3 is minimum of count 3 and 8. And also about count 3, you could even make it about count 3 you could even make it at most 2 as well, because more than 3 or more is not useful, as we said. But anyway, you could also say that it is at most 8. Okay, nice. How to send me what the solution. Yeah, this would definitely work. You could use 0 to 2 for the 3s and 0 to 15 or 0 to 8 for the 2s. If you want to send a submission, as I said, it would be good if you continue the discussion on this problem in the Telegram group. I think now we can now move on to the next problem. So the next problem D. Digital string maximization. So this problem is saying that you are given a string S consisting of digits from 0 to 9. In one operation, you can pick any digit in this string except for 0 or the leftmost digit, decrease it by 1, and then swap it with the digit left to the picked. For example, in one operation from the string 1, 0, 2, 3, you can get 1, 1, 0, 3 or 1, 0, 2, 2. This 1, 1, 0, 3 is that you swap these two and this 0. If you swap these two, this 2 will become 1 and comes here, so you're gonna have 1, 1, 0, 3. Or you could swap these two, then you would get 1, 0, 2, 2, because this 3 will be subtracted by 1. You have to find the lexicographically maximum string you can obtain after any number of operations. In this problem, and this is still not working, in this problem what you can do is that, again, there's something that you can change. We can say that it never changes. And what is that? You see that each time when you move a number leftward, its value will be subtracted by 1, right? So when you move it leftward, the value that you have for that element will be subtracted by 1. So basically what you can say is that initially in the lexicographical order, we aim to maximize the first number that we have. We want to maximize the first digits that we have. What is going to be the maximum digit that we can have in the first index? How can we find out that what is the maximum digit that we can have in the first index? D was only implementation. What was your approach? Kiarash? Same approach as minimum adjacent swaps for sorted string. How do you do this? How will you use greedy for it? I will check your code as well. I can show your code too. We'll check the first 10 elements. Yeah, that would work. Yeah, it would be at most one of the next 8 digits. Or we could find the maximum of Si minus I. That would be correct as well. That was what I said, that would never change. Si minus I would not change for the one that you're moving it to left. Si minus I will not change for the one that you will move it to the left. Let me show you the code that you were mentioning. This one, as you said, explaining it on the code would be better. I will explain the solution to you while I show you the code. I'll show you first by the code that you sent it to me to see what it is. So basically, as you said, one thing that we can do is that we can use greedy to find out what is the maximum thing that we can get, the maximum value that we can get. We could also say that the thing that I said that would not change was Si minus I, the element that comes to the first place, its value minus its index does not change, because each time that it comes to left, its index will be more useful. Its index will be added. It's like by 1, when you move it subtracted by 1, but also its value is subtracted by 1. So Si minus I will not change. Always pick the earliest instance of Si minus I if there are equal max values. Yeah, that would also be correct. So yes, that was the approach that I wanted to talk about first. I will show you the code of the code that you sent to me as well. But yeah, the thing that we can say is that when you consider the first index, the minimum that can come here is the minimum value of Si minus I that we have. And as you said, we can just consider a window of length 10 or something. Si minus I, we can consider only a window of length 10, or to be more precise, length 9. Because if we consider more than that, they would definitely be negative. When they come here, they would be 0 or less than that. So you can consider a window. Each time you can move this window to right, and one element will be deleted from your set. You can just consider a set. You can put pairs in your set such that they will not get deleted. I mean, the duplicated elements will be stored. Both of them will be stored. Each time one of the digits will be deleted, you choose one of the digits and put them here. So that one gets deleted, but instead another digit will be added next time. So each time you can see that this window that you have, you can see that what is the minimum value of Si minus I, the maximum value of Si minus 1. You put the maximum one in the first index, you put the maximum one in the first position, and then you move this sliding window forward. You will remove that one from your sets. You could either use multi-sets, or you could use pairs in your set. And then the point is that you can remove the one that you used and then add the one that will be inside your window. When you move your window, the one that you put here will be deleted and another one will be added. So you add this one minus the value of that minus is indexed to your set as well. Each time you put the maximum in the current position and then you go forward. Okay, I also show the code that you sent to me. Let me see that's what this one has done. Why it is so long? I mean, where is your main function? It's all your templates. You have every possible thing in your template. LCM, SQRoot, Fibonacci, isPrime, sieve. I saw even Dijkstra units. It's an interesting template. You have all the possible algorithms, and at the end your solution is only this. Okay, anyway, so you have a T, you see in T while T minus minus solve, and you say that in solve you see in S, and you have a stack, and then in your stack while C dot empty and C was greater than C dot top, TM C dot top, TM temp dot push top. Is it? Yeah, it is. So I wanted to make sure that it is for this row. While it was not empty and C was greater than C dot top plus 1, temp dot push top, C minus minus. Okay, so basically you are using the same idea, I think, the same approach is you're trying. So it's like, again, you're trying to pick the maximum and put it in the correct position that we have. I didn't see that's much difference in that one. If you want, any of you have a very clean code that you want to be discussed, you can send it here. I show you this one as well. We can see if this one is clean or not. And the rest, I mean, we can just see a few ones, and the rest, as I said, we can discuss it in the discussion group. In this one looks cleaner. We have a 4 from 1 to S dot size. Num is equal to Si minus 40. This is, I think, the ASCII code of 0. So we keep this value. If I show you ASCII code, the ASCII, I mean 48 is H, is capital H, so I don't know why you subtracted 48 from it. Anyway, you could instead just put the character of 0. So let me know why you subtracted 48 from it. But anyway, it's not important because you're comparing them, all of them are being subtracted by the same value. And then it says that if s of I minus j was less than s, yeah, each time he will just pick the maximum again in this range and he will move it to the beginning. And then he will see that, then he will move forward. So each time this could also work. Instead of having a set, you could just have a 4 and find out what is the maximum value that we have and put it to the beginning. Okay, I see so many codes. I can pick one randomly. Or I can pick the one that has been sent first. ASCII table was in hexadecimal. Oh yes, makes sense then. Yeah, it was in hexadecimal, yes. Yes, 0 is really 48. Yes, thank you for mentioning that. It was in hexadecimal. It was in base 16. So in base 16, the number that we saw was not in base 10, so that's why the 0 was not 48. So 0 is really 48. So I'll randomly choose one of your codes. I show you this one and see if you really argue that your code is really clean. You can say that in the chat and I will show you. For example, this one seems very interesting. It's very short. So he considers all the elements, all the next 10 elements or so. He will just consider them. I mean, he will go by at most 9 distance, and I plus j should definitely be less than s dot size. And then he says that he will push back all of them in a vector, and he will sort the vector, and he will consider the maximum of them and put the maximum as first. And then he will swap all the elements, I mean shift the ones that are useful. I mean he will shift that elements there. So basically all of the ideas are the same. The point is that we need to only consider the next 10 elements and we just move the maximum to the elements that we have. Okay, so it seems like my tablet must be connected now because my mouse goes to my tablet, but in OBS I don't have that. It's weird. Okay, anyway, so and also you can also, as I said, mention your solutions in our Telegram channel as well. You can just talk about that in the discussion group. I have the link of the discussion group. You can easily find the link of the discussion group in our Telegram channel. I send you the link of the discussion group in here as well. If you want to directly join the discussion group, you can put the link of your solutions there. So and also, if I want to show you one other code that is short, I'm using a lot of Java's codes. I'm showing a lot of them because the codes are really clean and they have high rank. Codeforces source the codes itself by their length. So if you see the first submissions, they are really shorter than the others. So what he does is that he has a for from 1 to n. He will just, each time he will again also consider the next 10 elements. He will each time increase CNT by 1. If he has seen 10 elements, he will break. He will not consider the rest. Otherwise, he will just check that if this one is greater than the maximum that we have so far. If that was the case, he will put this one there at the beginning. And then at the end, he will erase it. He will erase that elements from our set. Okay, so if it is completely clear, please use this emoji or put a plus. Otherwise, let me know if you have any questions about it. And as I said, tomorrow we have a topic stream, and also I think on Saturday, 2 days from now, we have 2 lit code contests. I don't know if you guys participate. how many of you participate in lead code contests. But I think we're gonna have both of the solution discussions, but we definitely have those solution discussions, and I recommend to you to join there. Allahu Akbar, it's real. I hope that you're not gonna explode here. Hello, Akshit. I think I will cover both of them, unless some unprecedented events would happen, but otherwise I would participate in both of them. Are you a PhD student in Maryland? Yeah, I am. I am a PhD student in Maryland at UMD. Yeah. It's okay to choose to only consider the next 9 digits. That's okay. That's correct. I always get this question in this stream, in each stream. I don't know if it's the same person asking or different people asking. I don't remember who has asked this. Do you guys really want me to answer this? If you want, I can answer, but I'm not sure it's very related. What is your PhD? It's in computer science. I will discuss F now as well. I read all the problems and I didn't feel like any of them was segment tree. The solutions on my mind was, come on, how many? I have to ban you if you continue to do this. I think you're basically spamming the chat. It's haram. Why? Why you say that it's haram? Yeah, sorry about that, but please keep, you can mention your point in one message. We understand that what is your point. You do not need to send it 10 times. Can you tell me some results to improving Codeforces? Yes, definitely. Definitely I will encourage you to watch the topic streams. Topic streams are supposed to do this work for you to improve. The reason that I'm making these topic streams is exactly what you're saying. Also, there are some other resources, yes, like Yusaku Guide. Yusaku Guide can be really helpful, but the most important thing is not to learn from somewhere. It's about solving problems. You have to solve problems from Codeforces. That's the most important thing that you have to do. So you do have a girlfriend. I can answer it if you want. Yeah, no worries. That's okay. I think now you're gonna send I am sorry 10 times. Sean, don't use manipulation. He's not also showing his belief system to others. That's so nice. I'm not sure that's what you're saying. Are you planning to stay in the US after you finish your PhD, and would you work in the industry or academia? Is your PhD related to AI? There are a lot of questions about my person. I'm not sure all of you are interested, so if you guys want me to start talking about the next problem sooner, say that in the chats. But otherwise, if you want to listen to this, I can answer you. About staying in the US, I'm not sure about it. I probably stay in the US. I probably go back to Iran. I would probably go to Europe, Canada. I'm not sure about it, but probably. And I prefer industry. I prefer startups to academia personally. And is your PhD related to AI? It's on algorithms, basically. But things I do are related to AI as well. Solving problems greater than any stream. Yeah, I agree with that. That the main thing, the main way, the classes, streams, things you learn, etc., all of them are some part of learning. It's like 20% of learning. 80% of learning is solving problems. Definitely. Into the contest, bro. Why, Manas? How to move on from this contest? Okay, so now I'm seeing the comments about moving on to the E. Sure. We now move on to problem E. I was waiting for someone to mention that. I saw that comment. So 3 strings. It's saying that you are given 3 strings A, B, and C consisting of lowercase Latin letters. The string C was obtained in the following way. At each step, either string A or string B was randomly chosen, and the first character of the chosen string was removed from it and appended to the end of string C until one of the strings ran out. After that, the remaining characters from the other one will be added. Then a certain number of characters in string C were randomly changed. You have to find the minimum number of characters that could have been changed in string C. So you want to somehow merge A and B in a way that the number of characters that need to be changed will be minimized. You have to somehow merge them such that the number of characters that need to be changed will be minimized. How can we do that? Well, the point is that we can use the DP idea, very similar to LCS. I think that you know that's what LCS is. If you're not, you can. I have a video on LCS. I have a video that explains LCS. Maybe it's good if I share it to you very quickly. In my first topic stream on DP, I think talked about LCS, but also in this video, I talked about what LCS is when we want to find the greatest common substring of 2 strings. That's LCS. So in this problem, we can use the same idea and define some DP of I and J. We can define some DP of I and J that says that if I have so far added the first I letters from the first one and the first J letters from the second one. Also, the video about the LCS is this one. I made it a year ago. You can watch it here. I talked about LCS as well. So what you can do, what you can say is this. You can consider that if so far I have chosen the I plus J first characters of C. If I have chosen the I plus J first characters of C, and in order to make it, I used the first I characters of A and the first J characters of B. So this is A, this is B. So far, I have used the first I characters of A and the first J characters of B, and to make the first I plus J characters of C. What is the minimum number of characters that I have to change to make C for that? So this way, it's like I'm making a DP. Instead of solving the whole problem, I'm solving for every prefix of the first string and every prefix of the second string. And then I consider that if I only want to use these 2 substrings to construct this string, what is the minimum number of characters that I need to change? And the point is that this DP can easily be updated. I can just find out when I want to solve this DP, I can just fix that what this element should be. I can just fix that what this element is. It's either the last element that I had in A, because this is the last thing that I've added. It's either the last one that I've added from the first string or the last one I've added from the second string. Is one of these 2. Let me check the chat to see if you had any questions so far. So it doesn't look like you have a question. So I'm adding one of these 2. So I can just have a case if I want to add this or I want to add this. And then if that element that I'm adding was really equal to this, I do not need to add any value. For example, I consider that, assume that this was the character that I'm adding. So I have to update DP of I and J from DP of I minus 1 and J. And if that element A sub I was really equal to C sub I plus J, I will just consider DP of I minus 1 and J. If they were not equal, it means that I need one additional change in here as well. So I have to add it by 1. Also, but this one is the same. I mean, I consider DP of I and J minus 1. And if they were the same, I can just add, I can just consider that one. Otherwise, I can add 1 to it. if they were the same, if this one was really equal to this one, I will not add anything, or I add 0. Otherwise, I add 1 to it, and I see that what is my dp here. At the end, my answer is going to be dp of a dot size and b dot size, and this way I can calculate the answer. If you understood it well, you can put a plus or use this 100 emoji, and thank you very much for the heart emoji as well. And if you believe that you have a clean solution, you can send me your solution. You can send me the idea of your solution. I see that some of you guys have sent it to me. Let me see this one. I mean, it doesn't mean that if you send it several times, I will check that out. Try to not spam the chats, but I showed this one. It looks clean as well. So it really looks clean. So what he's doing is that he defines dp. The dp is of size n plus 1 by n plus 1. So he defines it as a vector. He could also define it as an array of size n by m. But he used vector. There's not much difference. It's n by n plus 1 by m plus 1. And he has a for I from 0 to n, j from 0 to m. And he assumes that the first I letters of A and the first J letters of B have made the first K letters of C, and K is equal to I plus J definitely. If K was greater than C dot size, we will continue because we have more than the size of C. That would, I think, never happen because n plus m is at most C dot is equal to C dot size. N plus m is equal to C dot size. So even if I is its maximum and j is its maximum, k is not going to be greater than C dot size. But anyway, he has used it for caution, but even without it, it would work. I mean, this bad case would not happen. And then he says that if I was less than n and k was less than C dot size, he will consider that he will now pick the next elements of A. So he will go forward. He tries to update dp of I plus 1 and j and I and j plus 1 from dp of I and j. So in dp, as I said, there are two ways usually that we use it. Either when we come to I and j, we calculate it using the previous dp's, or when we come to this state, we try to update the next states using this one when we have its value. In here, we can say that dp of I and j can update dp of I plus 1 and j and dp of I and j plus 1. And if it's going to update dp of I plus 1 and j, I should be right on less than, and we should have another character in A. And the cost of adding it, if they were equal, if a of I and c of k were equal, the cost is 0, otherwise it's 1. And I say that dp of I plus 1 and j is equal to minimum of itself, and dp of I and j plus cost. And all the dp's are 10 to the power of 9 initially. So initially I set them as inf, as a very large number. And dp of I and j plus 1 can be updated like this as well. And at the end, it's just enough to see out dp of n and m. And this way, it can be solved. I see that you have sent some other solutions. Sorry that because I'm not showing all of the submissions, I cannot show all of the submissions. I'm kind of randomly choosing you. So I assure you that it's completely random. This is a Python solution, and this one is again the same thing. dp of I and j is calculated using the same idea. This one is that when we get to I and j, we use the previous dp's. dp of I and j is equal to minimum of dp of I and j and dp of I minus 1 and j plus this not equal to this. It means that if they are not equal, plus 1, otherwise plus 0. And dp of I and j can be calculated also this way. So it's one of these two cases. At the end, prints dp of n and n. Okay. I don't know what it means. I'm not sure. Is it in a particular language? What does this mean? I hope that it doesn't mean some bad thing. Does it mean a bad thing in Hindi? And also the rest, you can put the rest of your submissions in our discussion group. Also guys, let me tell you that we have the contest of binary search tomorrow before the stream as well. I forgot to say it to you at the beginning of the stream. I will notify you when the contest was up in the Telegram channel, and you can register in that and participate in it tomorrow before the stream. You can see the problems first in the contest, and then I'm gonna solve it for you during the live stream. Okay, it's family friendly, good. Why don't you attempt contest, Cheyenne? I really don't have time to participate in the contest right now. I mean, I usually have things to do right after each other, and I do a lot of things right now, and I mean, even trying to streaming them is kind of hard. Will you come to Bangalore? I would love to. I would definitely come someday. I would really love to come someday. It's a vegetable. Okay. Okay. So let's move on to problem F. Nice. Nice. I think Bangalore is one of the big cities in India. Okay. I want to visit Mumbai, Bangalore, and Delhi someday. Let's see what's gonna happen. So let's move on to the next problem F. Maximum modulo equality. Well, this problem says that you are given an array A of length n and q queries L and R. For each query, find the maximum possible m such that all elements AL, A sub L plus 1 to AR are equal modulo m. In other words, AL modulo m is equal to AL plus 1 modulo m, and so on. So for each query, you have to say that what is the maximum m such that all of the numbers are the same modulo m. Well, the point is that when the numbers are the same modulo m, this is exactly equivalent to, let me write it at the same time as well. If AL modulo m is equal to AL plus 1 modulo m to AR modulo m, it means the same thing as AL plus 1 minus AL is divisible by m. AL plus 1 minus AL is divisible by m. AL plus 2 minus AL plus 1 is divisible by m, and so on. AR minus A sub R minus 1 is divisible by m as well. So this is the same thing. I mean, the main thing that it is telling you, I mean, if they are all the same modulo m, it means that their differences must be divisible by m. So basically that's what it means. So you just need to initially find out the difference of each two consecutive values, and it's kind of saying that in the differences, I mean, each of these ranges, I mean, assume that di is ai minus 1, a sub I minus a sub I, or let's say a sub I plus 1 minus ai. So the answer to this query is that we should consider dl to d of r minus 1, because d of r minus 1 is ar minus a sub r minus 1. And we should find out the GCD of all these numbers. The answer is GCD of all these numbers. And how can we calculate the GCD of these numbers? That's also very easy. I mean, we can just to calculate the GCD of all these numbers exactly, we can either use sparse table or we can use segment. I said that segment is not necessary because we can really use sparse table. We can use like RMQ. We can just store that from each index. RMQ is range minimum query. The same idea can be applied here to calculate the range GCD query. It's like RGQ. And we can say that for each, starting from each index, we can define, for example, DP of I and J. It means that GCD of starting from index I, considering the substring is starting from index I and with length 2 to the power of j, what is going to be the GCD of these elements? And this can easily be updated, and at the end you can just, when you want this, you can find out the biggest power of 2 that is less than the length of this array, and you can just see that what is the GCD of this part and what is the GCD of this part. And the point that they have intersection does not matter. I mean, because it's GCD like minimum and maximum does not care about intersection. So you can just calculate the GCD of these two parts. The suffix of length 2 to the power of k, if k is the greatest power of 2, that is less than or equal to the size of this subarray, and the prefix of this subarray that is of length 2 to the power of k. And this is gonna be your answer. Is it clear for everyone? If it is clear, please put a plus or use the emoji. If you have a clean code that you want to share, you can also send it. Thank you, Maniac. Maniac quotes. Maniac was a bit weird. So, okay, I explained it. Again, I'm saying that the fact that they are the same modulo m means that the difference of each two consecutive ones of them, the difference of each two consecutive ones is divisible by that number m. It means that the differences must be divisible by if they are the same modulo m. Because you can easily see that they are the same. I mean, they are completely the same thing. If two numbers are the same modulo m, it means that their difference is divisible by m. These two things are exactly the same thing. So you know that the first number and the second number must be the same modulo m. So their difference must be divisible by m. The second and the third one must be the same modulo m. So their difference must be divisible by m, and so on. So you can just construct another array that consists of the difference of each two consecutive elements, and then you can just find range GCD queries. Do you have any video for segments? No, I don't think I have a video for segments. But in the last poll, in the last votes that we had, segment 3 was also in our votes as well, and it had a lot of votes, but at the end binary search. And I personally preferred binary search over segment 3 as well, because it's better to start with topics like binary search and then move on to segment 3. I like that. Allahu Akbar means Allah is the greatest, if you didn't know. Yeah, I personally knew that's what it means. But I don't know about the others. But the way that he mentioned it was like, it was interesting and funny. Okay. We can do it without segment 3, as I said, yeah. We can do it without segment 3, as I said, we can use a sparse table. I was able to solve and my rating is 1152. How did I perform? It is good. I mean, if your rating is going up, this is a good thing. And if you just want to know that how you can improve this, there's a video that I'm sending you each time about how to get out of newbie. The things that you should do and the things that you should not do. If you have watched it before, you can also tell me about your opinion about this video. I will send you the link to these videos again if you want it. Though because you're listening to the solutions of F and G, I don't think many of you are newbies. But anyway, if you want, you can watch these videos here. This is the videos that the things that you should not do, and this is the one that's the things that you should do to get out of newbie. If you're asking me about getting into any of FANG, I'm right now a PhD student, and so no, I don't work in an FANG company. Okay, look at modern women and you will realize the importance of Islam. Well, that's religious. I mean, I think there are different opinions, and it's better if I don't give comments. I respect all of the religions and all of the opinions that people have. And I think that we should really respect everyone on this. And I completely understand that there might be many different opinions on this stuff. So I loaded your solution that you sent on a sparse table. What do you mean, Manas? No, thanks. But I mean, I'm happy if I'm helping you. Thank you very much that you are this kind. I'm diplomatic, Cheyenne. Yes, I'm being diplomatic. You know, the point is that, I mean, especially in my country, in Iran, there are a lot of issues about forcing beliefs to others, and that's why we are against forcing beliefs, and we believe that these ideas should not be forced upon anyone. Anyway, do you agree with Omnic that anyone can become a GM Grandmaster if they work? I trust Omnic on this, definitely. And if he says so, he's a legendary Grandmaster so far. If he says so, then probably that's right. So, but it depends. I mean, for myself, it took 2 years to become a Grandmaster. Even maybe more than that. Even maybe 3 years. 2 or 3 years. So you cannot reach there very soon. I mean, if you want to get there, you have to spend a lot of time. That's not going to be an easy thing. Yeah, I'm from Iran. And yeah, so about the submission that you sent to me, I'm saying that submission that uses a sparse table, he has calculated differences, and he builds sparse table. In the build sparse table, he will consider maximum log, and he will just sparse of I and j is GCD of sparse of I and j minus 1 and sparse of I plus 2 to the power of j minus 1 and j minus 1. And at the end, you have query sparse table, and the length is r minus l plus 1, and you have log 2 of length, and you will return the GCD of this two. Yeah, so this would work. What does this mean? I guess that this one is also means anything that I cannot understand. I think it seems like it's a common tradition to use your words inside your code, the words that we cannot understand. Okay, so I started 2015, yeah. When did you start? I started 2015, yeah. The message above. How many problems? So I think the number of my solutions in Codeforces is, you can check it. You can check it out. I think it's around 2,000, 3,000. You can check it in problem sets and then in standings. You can check for anyone that's how many problems that they have solved. I'm waiting for that to be loaded. I think we should not tolerate the intolerance. Condemning women's freedom is intolerance. Where are you from, Luciano? By the way, I do not want to say anything, but yeah, that definitely is an important thing, and we also have several issues on that topic. I just wanted to know if you are also an Iranian or not. Your name doesn't look so, but anyway. Can you just tell in short that what is a sparse table? A sparse table is a, why we call it a sparse table, why we call this table to be sparse? Because we do not store all the values. We haven't stored all the values for L and R, what is the GCD from L to R. We have just stored some elements. From each I, we only consider the intervals of length 2 to the power of I. So we only consider the intervals that their lengths are a power of 2. Okay, so the point, because of that, it's called a sparse table. It's a table that is sparse. We have not stored all the values. We have just stored several values. And if you look at it, it's not n squared. Its size is not n squared. Its size is n by log n. So it's like we have compressed it kind of, and it's so sparse, and it makes what we want. It does what we want. We can find the answer using it easily. We can just, as I said, we can find the greatest power of 2 that is less than or equal to this length. And then we can just consider the GCD of this part and GCD of this part and calculate the GCD of both of them. And about the question that you asked me, that how many accepts do I have? I see that these people have 10,000 accepts. I think that some of them maybe have copied some of their solution. It's 2623, 2,600. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that you liked the explanation and it's helping you. That means a lot to see this. Yeah, we'll move on to G very soon, very shortly. That's the name of an Indian god. Okay. Someone's like binary lifting, yes. Have you visited? I think I did. Yeah, I've done that. I think I've done that when I was a child. You can give it a shot to give the topic streams a shot as well. I think, as I said, the topic streams are designed for that because I saw that so many people have this issue and I made those for you. That's for the case of you exactly. And have you watched them? Do you have any opinion about them, or the others who have watched them? Any opinion? You can watch the topic streams if you want from this link. You can just come to the playlists and it's here. Let me pause this. It's here. Yeah. And they are nice. It's nice that you have visited, you know. Okay, I answered this. Could you see my code? Clean segment 3. I can see it very quickly and then we have to move on to problem G. But yeah, basically that's clean, yeah. It's a bit long in here though, but in general it's clean. He has done the same thing. The only difference is that he has calculated the GCD using a segment tree. That would also work. You could also do a segment tree and get from that segment tree that what is the minimum of L and R. Not the minimum, sorry, the GCD of all the elements from L to R. In each node of segment tree, you can store the GCD. Yes, that works. So now let's move on to the last problem of the contest, problem G, tree destruction. It says that given a tree with n vertices, you can choose two vertices A and B once and remove all vertices on the path from A to B, including vertices themselves. If you choose A equal to B, only one vertex will be removed. Your task is to find the maximum number of connected components that can be formed after removing the path from the tree. Well, in this problem, we know that we will delete a path. So, how does a path look like in a tree? Let's make it rooted from a vertex, like vertex 1. Let's make it rooted from, let's make the tree rooted from vertex 1. How is it gonna look? How a path is gonna look in this rooted tree? It's gonna be something like this, right? I mean, it's from one vertex to another vertex, and it's gonna be like this. I mean, it goes upward till so until it reaches the LCA. And since you're watching the solution to problem G, I am assuming that you know this stuff and you know that's what LCA is, etc. So it comes here and then goes down. So a path looks like this. And if we choose this path, what is gonna be the number of components that we're gonna have? Well, we can say that the number of components at the end, we know that each one of the children of this vertex are gonna make one component. So it's gonna be the number of children of this vertex plus the number of children of its parents minus 1, because one of them was this. Other than this component, all the other children also make another component. Plus the number of children of this one minus 1 plus the number of children of this one minus 1 and so on. And also the same thing on this part. The number of children of this plus the number of children of this minus 1 plus the number of children of this minus 1 and so on. And also we add the number of children of the LCA minus 2 to it. So, I mean, by the LCA, I mean this topmost vertex. I mean, if you haven't heard about it before. So this, we can say that add the number of children of the topmost vertex minus 2 to it. So this is going to be the final value that we're going to have, right? I mean, let me check the chat as well to see if you have asked anything. Nice. You haven't. So this is going to be the number of connected components that you're going to have. So it's kind of like each vertex has some value that if it comes inside your path, it adds this value to your answer. My idea on this one was to use a DP. For each vertex, we can have two DPs, for instance, we can have two DPs. It takes forever to erase this. And I think the eraser does not have object eraser so that it can erase with one stroke. So anyway, we can define two DPs. DP1 of V says that what is the answer, what is the maximum number of connected components we can make in the subtree of vertex V if we have a path from V to another vertex. And DP2 says that what is the maximum number of connected components that we can make. So DP1 is the maximum number of connected components that we can make if we consider in the subtree of vertex V, if we consider one endpoint of the path to be vertex V itself. DP2 says that what is the maximum if we just choose two vertices. They can be anything. They can be any two vertices. So DP1 is that one side must be V. DP2, both sides can be anything. And these DPs can easily be updated. So when you want to calculate it, DP1 can be easily calculated. How DP1 of V will be for each one of these children, either you will only remove V. If you remove V, the number of connected components is the number of vertices adjacent to it. If it's going to be continued, I mean, it's going to be the number of its children, not the number of, the parents will not be counted because we are only considering the subtree of V right now. If we go downward, we have to go to one of its children. If we go to a child like U, for each U, we have to calculate it and find the maximum of all these values. It's gonna be maximized with DP1 of U. It's like, again, in this subtree, we have to see that what is the maximum that you can get. What is the maximum that you can get? And to that, you can add the number of children of V plus 1. This is one case. This is how we can calculate DP1 of V. And to calculate DP2 of V, we have several cases. One case is that this path is completely inside one of the children of V. So for each child U of V, DP2 of V must be maximized with DP2 of U. DP2 of V must be maximized with DP2 of U. Let me check the chats. Okay, either it was not loaded before or you just asked a lot of questions right now. Okay, I think that none of them are related to this problem. No, I'm not using Euler-Tur technique. And about the questions unrelated to this, maybe we can talk about it at the end if you want. So DP2, for calculating DP2 of V will be first equal to maximum of DP2 of all its children. This is one way that you can update it. Also, it can be updated from DP1 of V because that is also some path that can be considered. Also, it's possible that we have a path that is not, that one of its endpoints is not V, and also it's not completely in one of the children. How does such a path look? It means that that path should be like this. That path should be something like this. It comes to V and it comes downward again to some other vertex. So it means that it's like you choose two vertices, U prime and U and U prime. U and U prime. And then you're going to have DP1 of U in here, from here. DP1 of U components will be made from here. DP1 of U prime components will be made from here. And also, for this vertex, you can add from this vertex, you can add the number of children minus 2. So it's going to be maximum of DP1 of U plus DP1 of U prime plus the number of children of V minus 1. And if you also want to consider the component that you have outside, I mean at the end, if you want to also consider the number of the components outside, in this case, you can also add another 1 to it as well. And maximize as with DP, with this case plus 1, because there's also one connected component, there's going to be also one connected component outside of the subtree of V as well. These are some small things that you have to take care of. There's some plus 1, minus 1. But the general idea is that we can calculate these two DPs, and using these two DPs, these values can be easily calculated. Is it clear? If it is, please put a plus in the chat or use this emoji, otherwise put a minus. I kind of feel like there's blood in my mouth. I spoken for 2 hours straight and I feel blood in my mouth. Okay, what about the roots? About the root, we do not add one. I mean, you should consider these corner cases. Yeah, about the root, we do not add one because there's no connected component out of the subtree. Yeah, LCA is lowest common ancestor, and have you watched Suadhin? Have you watched the dynamic programming topic stream? Have you watched it? If you have watched, what was your experience? If you haven't watched, definitely I would suggest you to watch that first. That is one of the important things that you have to see, definitely. I put the link here. Yeah, thank you, Anonymous. I think I also have water. I mean, it's like, it's interesting. I never have water, I mean, on my desk. But today I have water. Should I focus? Yeah, I really taste blood. Should I focus only on CF to get better on CodeChef as well, or should I focus on both simultaneously? I personally focus on Codeforces only. I think you do not need to distract yourself. Codeforces has enough problems itself. I mean, it depends on you, definitely, but what I did and what I would do would be focusing on CF. If someone suggested some problem to you from CodeChef that, yeah, this problem is really great, you can just selectively go and solve those problems. But other than that, I think you don't need to distract yourself with different topics. What would I do? Well, about being stuck on pupil or in specialist, if you want, I can make other videos about that ones as well. That was in my plan. I will definitely hello Subedara. I will definitely make some videos. Let me say that in the Codeforces channel right now. Let me write it right now. About making videos. What type of video do you want me to make? Let me also say that I'm planning to make some videos for the YouTube channel for you. What type of video do you want me to make? Do you prefer to make? And I can delete the two. You can just put a comment right now in here in the Telegram channel, and just tell me that what kind of video do you want me. I mean, recently I had live streams and I haven't uploaded videos anymore to the channel, but I want to start. I mean, especially next month, I think I'm gonna have less live streams because I cannot attend at fixed times anymore, but I will make it up with making more videos. So you can tell me what type of videos you like the most. For example, guideline videos, or just topic-wise videos. You want to learn something or anything. We have 2 comments so far. Let me see. How to solve attack problems, game theory. Let me also give you some examples in here as well. Examples, guideline videos, topic-wise videos and algorithms, some specific tag, etc. So anyway, are you gonna do more interviews of top competitive programmers, maybe tourists? I would love to. Yeah, maybe, probably. As I said, I didn't have recorded videos recently, but I would love to, definitely. not only tourists but many other people that I would love to have interviews with. I would definitely continue that, but as I said, things were a bit complicated recently. When will the ratings be updated? I think maybe probably, within, at most by tomorrow it should be updated. That's how CF usually works. Maybe sometimes there will be some issues that they won't be updated. They won't update the ratings, but usually that happens. So can you please provide a good problem practice sheet for DP? I recently started practicing DP. Yeah, definitely. Definitely, I can make that. Central decomposition problem solving video, please. Yeah, you can also say that in Telegram channel as well. I think we had 14 comments so far. Is it you, Anonymous? Because I see another central decomposition as well. Is it you or someone else? There is a centroid here, right now. Your friend. Interesting. Okay, guys. So I think now all the solutions are discussed here. No, it's Telegram. Let me send you the link to the Telegram channel as well. This is the link to the Telegram channel. If you want to join, you are all more than welcome to join. Again, my Chrome was not responding for a sec. This was a Telegram channel. You can join Telegram channel from here. And Telegram is really my favorite social media. It's the best. I prefer it to everything else, to be honest. Some good problem practice resources for the people. Again, Victory Voyage. Have you watched the topic streams first? Because I talked about the topic streams in topic streams, especially DP topic streams a lot. Have you watched that? First, I need to know this. Will you not do live stream for CF contests? Probably there would be. There would be a period of time that I won't, probably. But I'm gonna make up with creating videos. Maybe do more contests targeted to experts or candidate masters. Okay. I do whatever most of you choose. I can put a vote for that, and I can see that what you guys prefer to do. I would definitely do whatever that you guys prefer. My whole circle is trying central decomposition. Interesting. What are you excited about next year? I'm excited about many things. I'm doing a lot of things. Maybe this YouTube channel is like my third or fourth work. I'm doing a lot of things and I'm really excited. I'm doing very hard work. I really sleep recently, etc. I do a lot of work and I'm really excited to see my hard work pay off. That's the most important thing, the thing that I'm excited about. I think it's the same for you as well, because it means a lot if you do a hard work and you reach something that you deserve at the end. So I want to see that if finally I can get to somewhere or not. Will I arrive when I want to? Will I get to what I'm trying to in different things or not? So, but videos on contest solutions will be there. Definitely about the video. Okay, probably the videos will not be about the contest solutions. It depends. If you prefer them to be contest solutions, it could also be contest solutions. But probably not. They might not be. They might probably not be contest solutions. General problem solving sessions. Okay, so far in the problem solving sessions or in the topic streams, the so-called topic streams that I'm talking about, we are going topic wise right now, but in future when we cover more topics, we can go talk about tag-free problems. That means a lot, Luciano. Thanks a lot. How do you work so hard? What keeps you motivated? The fact that I have to. I have a lot of I accepted responsibilities and now I'm responsible for them. and then now I have to. I have no choice anymore. So it's like I'm forced now. It's about accepting the responsibilities. I mean, when I accepted the responsibilities, I accepted them, and I was like, okay, I will deal with them somehow in future. And yeah, now I'm just trying to do my responsibilities. At what age you started CP? 15. I started at 2015 when I was 15. What is the top thing that you're trying? I will tell you about it. Just for now, keep it and just bother you a little bit. But it's an interesting that I will talk about it very soon. What is the hardest region to qualify to ICPC finals from? I think the hardest region depends. I know that, I qualified from NAC myself, and it was way easier than Iran, because in NAC in Iran it was super hard from Sharif to be qualified. In Iran from Sharif only one team qualifies, and all the teams are so great. They're like, I mean, the top teams, all of them are IGM, and I participated 3 times from Sharif and wanted to qualify to World Finals. In all 3 of them, I ended up at second rank. The first team would qualify, and I ended up in the second rank. And all the time, the first team was different. I mean, different teams were beating us. We were super unlucky. Once we ended up at second rank with 9 minutes penalty. But from here, from US, from NAC, it was like, because 17 teams were qualifying. It was very easy. 17 teams were qualifying, and we ended up at rank 6. So we could easily qualify from NAC, from North America Championship. But from Iran, since one team was qualifying from Sharif, it was super hard, and all our rivals were IGMs, etc., and that was very hard. Never stop topic streams, dude, please. It's so freaking helpful. That's nice. That's nice if they're really helpful. I would definitely continue if they are helpful. How to start doing contests on Codeforces as a beginner to competitive programming? You should just register in Codeforces, and then you see the contest. You can register in each contest, and then when the contest starts, you will go inside the contest. You can choose the problems. When you have solution, you write their code in any language you want, and you can submit the problem. I have completely explained this in the first video of how to start competitive programming. You can watch it here. Let me send it to you. I have explained it completely how to start competitive programming. You can watch it from here. How to build problem solving skills required for problems from 1200 onwards. Yeah. As I said, this is very interesting. I'm going on it topic wise to build problem solving skills. The most important thing is that you solve problems yourself. I'm being honest with you. Like you said, problem solving on Codeforces is way more important than watching any streams or classes, etc. The main thing at the end is, I mean, at the beginning you need that. You need to learn it from somewhere, either a topic stream or in a class by a teacher or in somewhere. But then the main part of your training is when you go and solve the problems. That's the main important thing that you have to do. Yeah. Do you have any insights why CF is struggling so much recently? I don't know really. Maybe they have a lot of users. Do you hear the voice of the do you hear the sound of my notifications here? I'm receiving some text messages right now. Is that motivation is myth and we should always make a situation to force ourselves or do what we want? I'm not sure about that. No, I mean, motivation is definitely drives you, and I really have motivation as well. I mean, it's about finding your passion and what you want to do, what you want to do. I do some of the things because I'm forced to. Many of the things that I have to do is because I'm forced to, but there are some things that I'm really excited about as well. So, and that's really helped me as well. Okay, I have to leave very soon because, as I said, I just have a meeting. I'm gonna have a meeting very, very soon. So, random question is that, let me see if I, how to grow beyond 1700, is basically problem solving. You have to solve problems around that rating, and by solving a lot of problems, you have to spend a lot of time solving problems. That's the main important thing. And as I talked about it in my interviews with everyone, every top competitive programmers, that's the same thing that all of them say. That's the most important thing, that you have to do problem solving. Random question, is the difference between you and tourists more or less equal to you and the CM? I don't know how you can compare, but yeah, definitely the difference between tourists and it must be a lot. I mean, rating wise, my rating is 2600, though I haven't participated in CF rounds for 4 years or so. I didn't continue, but rating wise, his rating is 1400 more than me. It's like the difference of me and something at rate 1200. His rating is so high, it's 4000. So, have you ever interviewed for Google? No, because I'm studying right now. I have not interviewed in a company like Google, but I'm doing some projects, some interesting projects though. Did you attend any classes? For what? I think the unusual advice on how to get good is incomplete. Of course, you mainly have to solve problems, but learning general things from the problems you solve is necessary to improve faster. Yes, that's true. You have to learn. Yeah, but definitely you have to put a lot of time and effort on solving problems to be able to learn that. If you put that time, the rest of the time learning from that is gonna happen. But yes, definitely. Completed this in 14 minutes? Yes, he did. Maybe do a more in-depth video on how to get good. Sure. Thank you for being honest. About what? Thanks, John. You're welcome. Have you applied for any FANG companies? No, not for FANG. I don't like FANG companies as well. I like startups. I mean, my passion is startups. Yeah, as I said, I really don't have time to participate in CF contests right now. I'm doing a lot of things and I cannot. I just try to do these streams because I know that it's important and a lot of people are watching it. But I couldn't find time to participate in them recently. When will you reveal on what you are working so hard? Maybe in the next streams. We can talk more about it. But if Google is really something you're interested in, I'm more than happy to refer you. Not sure if you even need it. Thank you, Kerry. Thank you. Yeah, I will definitely contact you. Maybe, I don't know, and maybe in future. Maybe not in the following year or two, but maybe in future. That would be nice. But yeah, right now, right now my main focus, I mean my own passion is mostly on the startups and building something from scratch, working at a small startup. That's more interesting for me. String will take you for quant trading. You are awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know that they pay a lot. I mean, Arash, that I had an interview with recently. You can see my screen, right? Okay. Arash was earning more than 500k per year. You can watch this interview as well if you want. He was doing quants training exactly. If you want, you can watch. This was a nice and interesting interview. Very much. Okay. So as I said, I have to leave very soon, but I hope that this stream was helpful for you. I also hope that I will see you tomorrow in the topic streams and also in the lead code discussion. The result is coming today or tomorrow, maybe this week. The result of the contest, I think it should come by tomorrow. How talented do you think you are in CP? Did you struggle at the beginning to get better? Yeah, I did struggle as well, like everyone else. I even became a newbie and then I came back. I showed you my plots a lot. I showed you guys my plots that in my previous streams that I got to newbie, but I continued, and very soon it paid off. I mean, after 3 or 4 months, my rating increased a lot, and that was so awesome, so interesting. I mean, you need to train hard. I also struggled. I also started from bottom. I mean, that's what happens. I mean, that's the case for everyone. Even older the quant trader, yeah. That's basically by solving a lot of problems. I mean, as I said, this is a very repetitive and normal answer that you give, but the point is that there's no other way. I mean, there's something that we always say, I mean, and also in the interviews, the main thing is that it gets better over time by solving a lot of problems. That's how that happens. And how do you easily come up with ideas to solve a problem? That's basically experience. I mean, solving a lot of problems. As you saw, I solved 2,600 problems before. So that was definitely the main reason, that the point was solving a lot of problems. Any tips for regionals? Try to have gyms with your team. I mean, you definitely have individual training, but having gyms close to contests is very, very useful for you. I mean, one of the issues that we had was that we didn't participate in a lot of gyms together, and that was a bit problematic. We didn't have good coordination. Bye. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It depends on div 3, is it div 3, is it div 2, but how many questions should you solve? It depends on how many solutions have rating less than or equal to 1400. Typically, those are the problems that you're expected to solve, but don't look at it like this. Try to do your training and do your best to make it possible to solve more problems. What topics to study? I think you should not study topic-wise. Just solve random problems without knowing that what is their tag. It's not a good time to participate. I mean, practice topic-wise. In the beginning, I was like that, but over time, you start solving different topics and tag-free. About the practice, as I said, a sorted problem, I started solving from the beginning, from the easiest problems, and I went forward starting to solve harder problems. How do you manage to remember what you learned in each problem? So over time it keeps in your mind. Your ability will increase, and you will see that. Yes, maybe you don't remember everything, but you will really progress. Each problem that you solve will have some effects on you really. Maybe we can deep dive into it in more detail in the next topic streams. What do you rate today's problems? It was good. The problems were good, and I think I liked them. They were not bad problems. Compared to the recent contests, I think this was better. This had better problems. I personally like it. Okay, guys. So, is there any sheet for Codeforces? I don't know that. I don't know what you mean, but definitely some people have made different sheets for different purposes. Yeah, AdCoder has a lot of interesting problems. I really like AdCoder as well. Yeah, so I hope to see you tomorrow and the day after that on topic stream and the lead code solution discussion as well. Let me see also that when is the next Codeforces contest. The next Codeforces contest is gonna be in 3 days. So we'll probably meet that day as well. Okay guys, so see you all next time. Goodbye for now. You have a good day as well. Thank you very much. Bye.